Buckle up, because what just dropped out of Atlanta makes the Kardashians look like a church choir. King Harris, the firecracker heir to the Harris Empire, just detonated a bomb that's got the whole internet in cardiac arrest. In a shocking twist straight out of a Netflix drama, King went live and said the unthinkable. T.I. ain't his real father. Yeah, you heard that right. The king of the South might not be the king of his own bloodline. Within seconds, social media went nuclear. Twitter turned into a courtroom. TikTok became Maury, and Instagram, well, Instagram became the scene of a family crime. This wasn't just gossip. This was legacy warfare. We're talking about T.I., the man who built his image on fatherhood, discipline, and expeditious vocabulary, suddenly getting hit with a claim that could rewrite the entire Harris family tree. And King didn't just drop the tea, he poured it, stirred it, and lit the kettle on fire. The internet's calling it the biggest DNA scandal since Drake's secret son. And honestly, that's an understatement. So grab your popcorn, because we're diving into the messy, shocking, and downright unbelievable story of how King Harris might have just flipped the entire hip-hop bloodline upside down. It started on a quiet Friday night, but by Saturday morning, Atlanta was on fire. King Harris, the wildest son of hip-hop royalty, decided to go live on Instagram, and what came out of his mouth wasn't just shocking, it was earth-shattering. You know how most celebrity kids post luxury cars or promote a clothing line? King hit "Go Live" and detonated a DNA grenade. No filters, no disclaimers, no management-approved script. Just him, pacing back and forth, clearly heated, mumbling something about fake love, being lied to, and finding out the truth the hard way. Fans thought it was just another rant, until he leaned into the camera, looked dead serious, and said, "Stop saying that man's my dad. He's not. I'm done pretending." Boom. That one sentence flipped the internet upside down. People thought their speakers glitched. Comment sections froze. Within seconds, clips were screen recorded, reposted, and re-uploaded on every gossip page known to humankind. The Shade Room lit up like Times Square on New Year's Eve. Twitter turned into a digital courtroom. TikTok turned into a detective agency. And YouTube creators across the country were already recording what really happened between King Harris and T.I. videos. And the craziest part? King didn't take it back. Not once. No, just joking. No, you all misunderstood me. He stood on it, like a man who'd been holding this bomb inside his chest for years, and finally let it detonate. Within hours, hashtags started trending, Sir King Harris DNA. What's T.I. ain't the father? A family hustle exposed. And King of Drama. Everyone had an opinion, and nobody had the facts. But since when has the internet ever waited for facts? Fans began playing side-by-side photo games like they were in a CSI lab. "Look at his jawline," one person posted. "That's Tiny's side for sure, but the nose. That don't match tip." Another said, "Bruh, King looked like that one producer Tiny used to hang with. Somebody run the footage." Speaking of footage, someone did. An old behind-the-scenes clip from T.I. and Tiny. The family hustle resurfaced where T.I. scolded King for acting out at school. In it, King storms off, muttering under his breath. At the time, it was harmless family TV. Now, fans were treating it like hidden evidence in a courtroom drama. One tweet summed it up perfectly. When King said, "You don't even know me," he meant it. But the most explosive part of this whole thing wasn't King's statement. It was T.I.'s reaction, or should I say, the lack of one. That man went completely ghost. No live, no tweet. No slick dictionary quote, no expeditiously, just silence. And when T.I. goes quiet, you know something's brewing. Because this is the same man who will write a 14-paragraph caption to address the most random stuff. Yet now, nothing. Fans noticed too. T.I. ain't said a word. That means it's true, one person commented. Another said, "If it wasn't true, we'd have gotten a TED Talk by now." Even Tiny, usually quick to shut down rumors, went cryptic. She posted a black screen on her story with one simple line: "The truth always reveals itself." That single sentence, it set the internet ablaze all over again. Some said Tiny was supporting King. Others thought she was subtly shading him. Nobody knew, and that made it worse. Meanwhile, YouTubers went into overdrive. Titles like "The Harris Family's Hidden Past Exposed" and "The Real Father Behind King Harris" started popping up everywhere. One conspiracy channel even claimed King found an old DNA test hidden in paperwork from years ago. Another said he overheard a fight between T.I. and Tiny where the truth came out. None of it was confirmed, but none of it needed to be. Because the story was too wild, too juicy, and too real sounding to ignore. And here's where it gets even crazier. Someone dug up an old photo of Tiny in the early 2000s, smiling next to a man who looked suspiciously like King. The man, allegedly a producer who once worked with Xscape, was now being tagged left and right. "Sir, we just want to talk." By morning, the man's Instagram was flooded. Thousands of comments. "You the real daddy? Blink twice if it's true. Bro, you owe us an explanation." The poor guy had to go live himself to clear the air, saying, "Y'all need to chill. I got nothing to do with that family. I ain't King's daddy. Stop tagging me." But it didn't matter. The internet had already decided he was mystery dad. And while all this chaos was unraveling online, King was quiet. Too quiet. He didn't delete the live. He didn't backtrack. He didn't deny anything. Instead, he posted a story the next morning that simply read, "Blood don't make you family. Loyalty does." That sentence? Nuclear. Every blog reposted it. Every podcast quoted it. Fans started using it as captions on their own photos like it was scripture. Even celebrities couldn't stay out of it. Boozy commented, "That boy hurt for real." 50 Cent joked, "Maury got a new episode coming soon." Charlemagne the God called it the craziest father-son drama since 50 and Marquise. But the truth was, this wasn't just another clout-chasing rant. You could see it in King's eyes. This wasn't some petty teenager moment. This looked personal, like years of resentment finally breaking loose in front of millions. Because let's be real, King's been rebelling for years. He's been fighting for identity while the world keeps labeling him as T.I.'s son. Every time he tries to stand alone, that shadow follows him. Every time he stumbles, people blame his parents. It's like fame built him a mansion, but locked him in the basement. So when he said, "He ain't my father," maybe he wasn't just talking DNA. Maybe he was talking emotionally. Maybe he meant, "That man don't act like a dad." Still, in the court of public opinion, nuance doesn't exist, and that's when things started getting darker. A TikTok page popped up claiming to have proof, voice messages, screenshots, hidden photos, but they were all fake. Fans didn't care. Every fake leak got 1 million views. The story had taken on a life of its own. By midnight, every media outlet from Hollywood Unlocked to XXL was covering it. Headline after headline screamed, "King Harris questions his bloodline. T.I. family scandal explodes. DNA secrets shake Atlanta." What made it worse was the silence from the Harris family. No denials, no press release, just eerie quiet, like a storm brewing behind mansion walls. And that silence, it spoke volumes, because whether the story was true or not, the damage was already done. The public's trust was cracked. The family's image, the hustle gang legacy, suddenly felt more like a script from Love and Hip Hop. Atlanta, the Royal Edition. And for the first time ever, King Harris wasn't the one trending for getting into fights or arguing on live. He was trending for possibly rewriting his entire bloodline. And if that wasn't wild enough, the next 48 hours would turn this from a rumor into a full-blown civil war. By the time the sun rose on day 2, the internet had officially gone feral. The King Harris DNA scandal wasn't just trending, it was the internet. Every major platform had turned into a courtroom with self-appointed judges, expert witnesses, and thousands of fans acting like amateur genealogists. You couldn't open your phone without seeing T.I., DNA, or Maury in the same sentence. Twitter threads were spinning faster than a DJ Khaled ad-lib. One tweet said, "If King Harris ain't T.I.'s son, that means the entire Harris show was a lie." Another read, "Somebody call Maury before this becomes a Beat series." And then came the real chaos. Fan theories so wild, they made conspiracy TikTok look calm. Some said T.I. had secretly known for years and kept quiet to protect Tiny's image. Others claimed Tiny had confessed during therapy, but the footage was edited out of the family hustle. And then there was the wildest one yet, that King had found a hidden DNA envelope in an old safe while filming something new for Zeus Network. No proof, no receipts, just pure, uncut internet imagination. But as the rumor mill spun out of control, T.I. was nowhere to be seen. Not a post, not a tweet, not even a "y'all stop playing with my name." For a man who once used expeditiously in casual conversation, this silence was louder than a diss track. Meanwhile, King was doubling down, not by ranting, but by disappearing. No lives, no posts, no denials. Just a dark Instagram story with white text that read, "Blood makes you related." Loyalty makes you family. That one sentence broke the internet all over again. The irony? It wasn't just the public that was divided. The industry started picking sides. Boozy went live, sipping juice like he was hosting a hip-hop version of Dr. Phil. "That boy hurt," he said. "Y'all can tell he'd been feeling that pain for a while. I don't think he's lying, I think he's just fed up." Charlemagne the God chimed in on The Breakfast Club, saying, "If King's telling the truth, this could be the biggest hip-hop family cover-up since Birdman and Wayne stopped speaking." Meanwhile, 50 Cent, because of course, 50 Cent, jumped on Instagram and posted a meme of T.I. holding a Maury envelope with the caption, "You said you was the king of the South, not the king of child support." The comments were brutal. One fan wrote, 50 need to chill. He don't even know if his own son likes him. Another replied, "Yeah, but 50 ain't wrong though. By now, this wasn't a family feud. This was digital warfare." And then, like gasoline on an open flame, Tiny decided to speak. Sort of. She went live late one night, visibly emotional. Her voice cracked as she said, "People say anything when they're hurting. We love our son no matter what." Boom. 10 words. That's all it took. Within an hour, that clip had 2 million views and 1,000 different interpretations. Half the internet swore she just confirmed King's claim. The other half said she was standing by her husband. Blogs twisted her every syllable. Titles flooded timelines. Tiny admits family secrets hidden for years. Tiny confirms hurt in the Harris household. Tiny's silence on DNA only makes things worse. And to make things even messier, an old photo started circulating again. That early 2000s picture of Tiny, with a man who looked eerily similar to King. Fans were calling him Mystery Dad. Within hours, his name was trending. His old R&B credits resurfaced. His comment section turned into a virtual interrogation room. "You the father, yes or no? Blink twice if it's true." Bruh, you got some explaining to do. The man, looked clearly fed up, went live and denied everything. "Y'all tripping. I ain't got nothing to do with them folks. I worked with Xscape back in the day, that's it. You're playing with my piece." But by that point, it didn't matter. The meme factory was already working overtime. Someone photoshopped the guy into the Family Hustle intro next to T.I., captioning it, "Season 2, The Real Father Hustle." Another made a fake Maury poster saying, "You are the father, coming this fall on BET." And through all of this, the memes, the theories, the chaos, King was dead silent, which honestly made everything worse, because silence breeds mystery, and mystery breeds views. Then, like clockwork, one of T.I.'s close associates allegedly leaked a message claiming Tip was furious behind the scenes. The message read, "He's hurt, he feels betrayed, he's not even mad about the rumor. He's mad it came from his own blood." Fans went into a frenzy. "So he admitting it?" one user asked. Another replied, "He didn't deny it though." T.I. eventually posted something. Not a denial, but a caption. A black and white picture of himself sitting in a studio, no smile, no mic, just him and a blunt. The caption read, "Real men don't explain what fake ones wouldn't understand." Translation: nobody knew, but everyone had an opinion. Some said it was confirmation, others said it was deflection. A few die-hard fans claimed it was just deep Tip energy. Either way, it didn't help. At this point, every media outlet had joined the feeding frenzy. XXL, Hot New Hip Hop, The Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, even TMZ, all covering it with headlines like, "T.I. breaks his silence, sort of," and "DNA scandal consumes the Harris empire." Meanwhile, memes about the real king of the South were trending worldwide. People were photoshopping Maury into old Family Hustle promo pictures. Others were editing fake DNA test envelopes into T.I. music videos. And you know who noticed? The Zeus Network. An anonymous source leaked that producers were already trying to reach King for a potential Truth and Bloodline reality spin-off. Because if there's one thing TV loves more than drama, it's a scandal they don't have to write. But while the internet was joking, the emotional tone shifted underneath. Some fans started sympathizing with King. They said he wasn't crazy, just broken. One comment summed it up perfectly. "You're laughing, but imagine finding out your life might have been a lie." Others, though, saw it differently. They accused King of being attention hungry, saying he was trying to outshine his father by going nuclear. Still, no matter which side you were on, one thing was undeniable. The Harris family name was no longer about hustle, money, or music. It was about mystery. Because for the first time in 2 decades, T.I. wasn't controlling the narrative. His own son was. And that loss of control, that's what truly terrified him. What started as a viral soundbite had morphed into a national debate. And every silence, every vague caption, every emotional live was feeding it. By the end of week one thing was clear: this wasn't ending soon. Not until someone, anyone, told the truth. But in true celebrity fashion, the next move didn't come from T.I. or Tiny. It came from King himself. And it was about to turn this DNA drama into something way deeper. By day 3, the world wasn't just watching the Harris family anymore. It was invested. What started as a midnight confession had evolved into a global obsession. The internet had turned King Harris's DNA bombshell into the hip-hop version of Game of Thrones, complete with betrayal, bloodlines, and royal family secrets. But this episode was about to take an even darker, more emotional turn, because while fans were laughing, theorizing, and debating, King went silent. Not the cocky, attention-grabbing silence people expected, but the heavy, eerie kind that feels like the calm before another explosion. Then, out of nowhere, he broke it, not with another live, not with a rant, but with a song snippet. A short clip appeared on his Instagram, captioned, "Truth hurts when it's yours." The track was raw, no auto-tune, no filter, just pain wrapped in bars. One line hit harder than a diss record. "Ain't no DNA in the way they raised their voice. I was searching for love. They were searching for noise." Fans went crazy. Within minutes, blogs declared it the King Harris DNA anthem. The post got over 2 million views in less than an hour. Every lyric was dissected like gospel. "He's confirming it," fans said. "That line about DNA, that's the truth leaking through the beat." T.I., of course, didn't respond directly, but hours later, he posted a cryptic message of his own: "Clout ain't closure." And just like that, the war between father and son became a public chess match. Lyrical, emotional, and devastatingly human. But behind the headlines, the tension wasn't about genetics anymore. It was about betrayal. Insiders close to the family told media outlets that King's statement came after months of internal fighting. Allegedly, he'd felt dismissed and disrespected by both T.I. and Tiny. He wanted to carve his own lane, his own name. But the industry refused to see him as anything other than T.I.'s wild son. And when people tried to paint his rebellion as just acting out, it pushed him over the edge. That's when he started digging. Rumor has it, King stumbled upon an old family conversation, or paperwork, that sparked everything. Nobody knows exactly what he saw, but one thing's for sure: it was enough to make him go live and burn everything down in front of millions. But here's where things took a shocking twist. The family started fracturing in real life. Tiny, the peacekeeper, was caught in the middle. According to one report, she broke down crying during a private family dinner, saying she was tired of protecting people who don't protect the truth. Another insider said, "Tiny's loyalty is torn. She loves her husband, but she's heartbroken for her son." That quote spread faster than wildfire. Torn loyalty. 2 words that became the heartbeat of the entire scandal. And then, as if this saga needed more gasoline, Shekinah Joe jumped back into the conversation. On Liv, she said, "That boy been through more than y'all know. Everything ain't what it seems in that house." Boom. That one statement flipped everything again. Fans who were doubting King started believing him. One tweet said, "Shekinah basically confirmed there's secrets in the Harris household." Another, "When the aunties start crying, you know the tea real." Within hours, every gossip outlet plastered headlines like, "Shekinah confirms Harris family turmoil. Whether she meant to or not, she poured kerosene on the fire." Meanwhile, King wasn't helping calm things down. He posted another story, a photo of himself as a kid, standing next to T.I. during family hustle days, with the caption, "Everything on camera was fake anyway." Fans lost their minds. That one image, a smiling little boy next to the man he now claimed wasn't his father, broke the internet. TikTokers started overlaying sad music over family hustle clips, editing in quotes from his new lyrics. Twitter threads titled "King Harris, the boy behind the fame," hit millions of views. The narrative had shifted again. This was no longer a joke. It was a tragedy unfolding in real time. And when you think it couldn't get messier, guess who reappeared? The so-called mystery dad. He posted a statement to shut everything down once and for all. "I am not King's biological father. Y'all need to stop with the lies. That family situation got nothing to do with me." But guess what? The internet didn't believe him. People said, "That's exactly what a secret dad would say." Others joked, "He waiting for the DNA results before he speaks too loud." At this point, every single thing anyone posted turned into a clue, a theory, a symbol. It wasn't just celebrity gossip anymore. It had become folklore. Even the music industry started weighing in. Some rappers called it the fall of a dynasty. Others said King was bold for breaking generational silence. Fans compared it to Will and Jaden Smith, others to Drake's Adonis moment. But for T.I., it was more than headlines. It was humiliation. He'd spent 2 decades building his image as a father, mentor, and man of integrity. And now, one viral video from his own son had people questioning his bloodline, his family, and his truth. The damage wasn't just emotional, it was brand level. Sponsors started pulling back from partnerships. TV networks quietly postponed reruns of The Family Hustle. Even his podcast numbers took a hit. To the public, silence wasn't maturity anymore. It was guilt. Tiny, caught in the storm, reportedly begged King to make peace privately. But King wasn't backing down. He went live again. Not screaming, not ranting, but calm. Too calm. "I ain't got no hate for nobody," he said. "I just ain't gonna pretend no more. If y'all knew what I knew, you'd understand." And that was it. He ended the live. But that single statement broke everything. Because now people weren't just doubting, they were believing. Memes became sympathy posts. King might have lost his family, one tweet read, but he found his voice. Another said, "T.I. can hide from the internet, but not from the truth." That night, DNA of the South started trending. It was a mix of jokes, quotes, and heartbreak. A digital funeral for the perfect family image that had defined the Harrises for years. And through it all, one haunting truth emerged. Even if a DNA test dropped tomorrow and proved T.I. was the father, the emotional damage was already irreversible. Because what King really exposed wasn't just a possible secret. It was the pain that fame hides, the fractures fame ignores, the silence that money can't heal. He didn't just say, "T.I. ain't my dad." He said, "I'm done pretending." And that's what made this moment so dangerous and so unforgettable. The Harris family had always represented hustle, success, and unity, but now they represented something else entirely. The dark side of celebrity families, where secrets fester under the spotlight and love has to fight for its life in the glare of millions. And somewhere in Atlanta tonight, behind all the smoke and silence, a father and son both sat staring at the same screen, realizing that even in a house full of fame, sometimes family can feel like strangers. And there you have it, the Royal Harris dynasty, flipped inside out like a reality show gone rogue. King Harris didn't just drop a statement, he detonated a legacy. One live, one confession, and suddenly the family hustle turned into family mayhem. He called out one of hip-hop's most respected fathers, shattered a decade-long image, and reminded the world that even under all the diamonds, mansions, and fame, there's a whole lot of broken glass. And whether you think this is truth, trauma, or just another viral stunt, one thing's for sure, the Harris household will never be the same again. T.I. built an empire called the Family Hustle, but King just proved that sometimes the hustle comes with heartbreak. The question now is, will T.I. finally speak? Will we see a DNA test? Or will this go down as one of hip-hop's greatest unsolved scandals? Because let's be honest, this drama's juicier than a Thanksgiving fight at Kris Jenner's house. But before we get lost in the chaos, let's make one thing clear. You don't want to miss what's coming next. Because this is just the beginning. Every silence, every post, every cryptic lyric, it's all part of the story still unfolding in real time. So go ahead and smash that like button like it owes you money. Drop your wildest theory in the comments and hit subscribe before the next twist drops. Because over here, the truth doesn't hide for long. Stay locked in. Because the next chapter of this DNA drama might just expose way more than family ties. This is Gossip Sphere, where secrets scream louder than music, like every scandal finds its spotlight.